All right, thanks for joining me. As you guys are aware, I'm Matthew. I'm going to be the lead validator in this validation. It's going to start with a pre-assessment validation. With me, I've got Michael and Kristen. Before we start, I am recording this just for purposes of this validation, so we can look back if we need to. So can I just confirm you guys are happy for the recording to take place? Yep, perfect. Bit of safety first. Just behind me to the right is the exit point if there is an emergency. Once you're at the door, turn right again to the emergency exit. 100 metres down to the right again is the car park, and that's the emergency muster point. Also, if you need to use the bathroom, out the door to the left. Any questions?
No.
Before we start?
Alright.
Everyone's happy to kick on?
Yeah.
Awesome. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to conduct a validation on 3 different units. The first one being Unit of Competency TLIPC 0005, which is Demonstrate Safe Practice at Work. It's release number 1. The purpose of this validation is to ensure all assessment tools meet the requirements of the Unit of Competency, industry standards, principles of assessment, and rules of evidence. The second unit is TLID 002, which is shift material safely using manual handling methods, and that's also release 1. And the purpose of validation is to ensure that workers are able to safely handle goods around the workplace and move in a safe, effective manner. And validation for the third unit, which is FSK DIG 002, use digital technology for routine and simple workplace tasks, release 1, and the purpose is to have all learners competent in being able to utilise different technologies to complete workplace tasks. So before we kick on into the actual validation, I just want to run through all of our documentation we have. So for each of the 3 units, we've got the pre-assessment validation report here, which we will go through together. The mapping matrix for Demonstrate Safe Work Practices, plus the other 2 units. We've also got the marking guide for the different units. We've got the knowledge assessment, and we've got the practical assessment. And then we've also got the record assessment, which will be signed by the students once they've completed each individual assessment. Please turn your phones on silent. So can everyone just acknowledge that we've got all those documentations here for the 3 different units?
Yeah.
Everyone's seen those, you've all received a copy in the emails?
Yeah.
Perfect. So kicking on with the ethical responsibilities. So I just want to first check and make sure that all this information that we've gathered, everything about the different students, the different candidates for this assessment process does stay with us. Record keeping purposes, it goes into the AWT record keeping folder. That does not get shared with anyone, and it's only to be used for assessment purposes. Just going to confirm that you guys understand that.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Perfect. And then also, I just want to confirm, we've got the names here of the people that are taking the assessments. So just confirm that if anybody does know any of these people, please state how you know them. And then if there is any conflict of interest between you and those candidates, I believe you've all signed a conflict of interest form stating that you don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
Awesome. So when we're dealing with the candidates, pretty much we're looking at it from an assessor approach, so we're not to be using any of their information or personal information to judge our assessment or validation against them.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so I was looking at how we could possibly or the main sequence we could use for looking at the 3 units. I think the most logical sequence is we'll go through Unit 1 first, look at all the documentation we have, and then check and see if it does meet the requirements for assessment. And then we can use Unit 2, Unit 3. With the validation report here, we'll go through that. Just make sure that it does meet all the requirements, and anything that we find which we don't think meets the requirements, we can log, and then we can look into getting that fixed up at a later date.
Yep.
Yep,
No
awesome.
problems.
So the first one, which is the first unit, which is demonstrate safe work practices. We've got here the mapping documents. So we're first going to look to make sure the everything in the mapping matrix matches, or in the mapping tool matches the unit or competency. So we've got the mapping matrix here, and the unit of competency guidelines, the performance criteria. So we're going to start at the top here. Just check that all elements and performance criteria are covered in the assessment. All performance evidence is covered, all knowledge evidence is covered, all foundation skills are covered, the assessment conditions are met, and the mapping document and assessment tools are the same version.
Yep.
So looking here in the knowledge evidence, I think you stated earlier that you saw that it states the PPE relevant to the job is covered in short answer question 6. However, according to the assessment, there is only 5 questions. So if you guys agree as well, I don't think that I don't think if there's only 5 questions in the short answer questions, then we should pretty much disregard anything with question 6. So if there is obviously part of the unit of competency which only is reflected in question 6, which luckily for us there isn't, so therefore I believe that all unit of competencies are covered.
Okay, yep.
Yep, everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was only that one question 6, but there's no actual particular spots where in the knowledge evidence where it's only covered by itself.
Perfect.
Awesome. You had something about the mapping document?
What was it?
So you were looking at it before and you found, what have you written in there?
Whilst both documents state they are version 1,
Yeah.
the assessment has no question 6 for the
Short answer questions?
Yeah. Whilst the mapping matrix and marketing guide has a question 6.
Okay, so yeah, I think that kind of reflects back on that previous spot where we found that there is only 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look here, we'll open up the marking guide. And the marking guide you see there has the marking guide has question 6, but yeah, here in the short answer questions, there's only 5 questions. So, I think we need to put that towards the, back to the trainer and get them to either add in the question 6 or remove question 6 from the marking guide.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's making sense, yeah.
Awesome. So principles of assessment for this one, looking through, I believe that we've actually met all the principles of assessment. So it is a valid assessment, meaning that assessment methods are appropriate for the AQF level, and the dimensions of competency are incorporated. It also, the assessment ensures transferability of skills and tasks based on realistic workplace activities. So you guys are both experts in your field, and you both believe that all the tasks in this do meet actual workplace processes that you guys do in your field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. It is reliable, so all the instructions to the candidates are clear, meaning that we've all read the questions. From those questions, you guys understand what would be needed of you if you were filling them out.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're going to push forward. The assessment is flexible, so it allows for reasonable adjustment. I think we can all agree that the assessment does allow plenty of time for the candidates to conduct the assessment.
Yeah.
We don't really need any extra time. All the students have shown that they don't need any extra time. They all have the appropriate reading and writing skills. It's also fair, so learners are provided with clear information about what is expected from them, which we just spoke about. Learners undertake the same similar, so all learners are conducting the exact same test, and we do allow for appeals if needed. Rules of evidence, so we're going to look at first if it's all valid evidence, so this is getting more into making sure each candidate is who they say they are. So benchmark answers provided to assess allow for clear and consistent outcome, and assessment evidence requirements really relate directly to the unit of competency. So pretty much everything in the assessments relate back to the unit of competency, which we looked at in our first part of this, which is the mapping documentation.
Yeah.
Awesome. Current evidence, authentic, so all assessment methods are of that person. So before each assessment, we conduct an ID check, make sure that the ID matches that person, especially if it is online training. That's a must that we check that out. Current evidence, assessment evidence demonstrate it's current. So you guys both as industry professionals, you both agree that what the questions are asking is current to the workplace.
Yeah.
Everything meets the OHS standards.
Yeah.
Awesome, and sufficient. As the industry experts, you believe that there is enough question in here for each student?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Sure.
Awesome. So in the bottom, if you guys are both happy, I reckon the only thing we need to put in there for continuous improvement is just that mapping document where obviously it shows 6 questions, but there's only 5 being asked of the students.
No, I think we need to add that in there.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything else? Or you both all happy with just that one?
No, happy with the rest. Yeah.
Awesome. That one.
Cool. All right. We will move on to Unit 2. Put Unit 1 aside. As you see here, we've got all the same documentation again. We've got the mapping matrix, the marking guide, knowledge and practical assessment, and then the record of assessment. So once again, we'll go through the validation report. With this one, I don't think we do have any sections of the knowledge or practical assessments which don't line up with the unit of competency. All evidence and performance criteria are covered. You can see that in the mapping that they all range across the different elements here. You can see short answer questions, and case studies, and the practical. You can see all questions are covered. All performance evidence is covered. So same thing, we just flip the page over and there's the performance evidence, all knowledge evidence, all foundation skills, and assessment conditions are met, as well as the mapping document. Anyone have anything to add to that? Everyone's quite happy?
No, I'm happy. When I read through it, it was
It's all met?
It's really clear.
everything was clear.
Perfect. We've then got our principles. So looking through that, it is a valid assessment. All levels match the AQF. All dimensions of competency are incorporated within the knowledge and practical assessments. All skills are obtained in the assessment. They all relate directly to the job role. As the industry professionals, you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Perfect. And all skills obtained in the assessment are relating directly to the job role.
Yeah.
Awesome. Reliable, so instructions to candidates are clear. Once again, everyone knows what they have to do. Instructions to assessors, so for the assessors, they know what they're looking for. And answers are clear for many questions there are multiple answers, and it's quite clear here that the benchmark answers are clear for the assessors to be able to look upon. It is a flexible and fair assessment, so it allows for reasonable adjustment. Same as Unit 1, we haven't been requested to have any reasonable adjustment made, so everyone's happy to do it within the time frame. Same as the practical application, no one's requested assistance. If they do need it, everyone's happy that we can allow for that to happen.
Yeah.
Perfect. Benchmark answers meet the level requirement for the unit of competency. You guys, once again, as the industry experts, you guys are happy that all the answers, all the questions meet industry standard for you guys, and they are all relevant to the job role.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Perfect. Rules of evidence. So, yep, our answers provided to the assessors allow for a clear and consistent outcome. They're all conducting the same assessments throughout the questions, the case studies, the practical. All evidence is authentic, so we know it's considered it's from them. We're seeing them in person doing it.
Yeah.
And evidence is current. So another one back to you guys as the industry professionals. All the questions in here relate to current events within your field.
Yeah.
Perfect. And next one for you guys again, sufficient. It's all sufficient. So there's nothing in there which shouldn't be in there. Everything covers what they need to know.
Yeah,
You guys'
absolutely.
eyes?
It's all relevant.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I reckon we could put this one thing in the continuous improvement. It's not actually an issue. It's just we've got in here case study question 9 does not meet any of the knowledge or performance evidence requirements. So if we go back to our mapping once again, you'll see that question 9 is in there. It's a decent question from to ask, but within the actual mapping itself, so we'll open up our mapping, we'll look for the case study ones. You can see none of these have question 9 in there. Nothing relates back to question 9.
Yeah.
So to me, I would think that question 9 either needs to be reconfigured to meet one of the units of conflict to meet the performance criteria, or it needs to be just removed.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts about that?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I was thinking of removing it.
Removing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So we'll push on to our final unit. The final unit is FSK DIG 002, so use digital technology for routine and simple workplace tasks. Hang on, sorry, I think I just threw down our document that we really need, which is our validation report.
Yeah.
So we're going to start here looking at our validation reports. We've got all our documentation there. So going through our mapping matrix, we can see straight up that for our performance criteria, none of our questions are covered in the theory short answer questions.
Yeah.
They all seem to be just for the practical. Going through it as well, not all our knowledge evidence criteria are met. So strategies to review and improve performance, that is not met in any of the questions.
Yeah.
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 See that?
None of our foundation skills seem to be met. So reading and oral communication are our 2 foundation skills for this unit. Also technology. My bad. There's 3 of them. None of those are met. And assessment conditions. Apart from the assessor part, down the bottom here, none of those are covered throughout the assessment. Mapping validation is also hasn't been completed, so it is not valid. So straight up, we can see that our mapping documentation for the unit of competency, the mapping matrix states that PC 1.1, so performance criteria, 1.2, 1.3 covered in the practical question 4. There is no question 4. So when we look at our practical, there's no question 4, there's only 3 questions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So therefore, performance criteria, these ones here, aren't actually covered anywhere. We've also got performance evidence 2 not covered in the assessment, as there is no question 4. Knowledge evidence 6 not covered in the assessment. So it's the same here.
Yeah.
Foundation skills not covered, assessment conditions, mapping. Now me personally, from my experience, I would say straight up that this unit is void.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
There's no point continuing on with this validation because already it is not a valid assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're missing way too much
Yeah.
criteria.
And if it doesn't meet the performance criteria, then the unit competency is not met.
Yeah.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So I think we straight away return this back to the RTO, let them know our findings just from the front, and let them know that they need to review the entire assessment for Unit 3
Yeah.
and redo it. It shouldn't be handed out to candidates to complete because it doesn't meet the criteria.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we just wanted to check. We agree that even though Unit 1 and 2 did have those couple of little inconsistencies, that's still valid and we can still pass that around for assessment to take place.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy for Unit 1 and 2?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they were both easy fixes. We
Yep.
either add them in properly or we remove them.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
And yeah, from there, I reckon Unit 3, well, as we said, we send back. The other two can go forward, and yeah, there's obviously a lot of improvements for Unit 3.
Yeah.
That once they
Yeah.
make those fixes, we'll convene once again and go through it and see if it does meet the requirements of
Yeah.
assessment.
Yeah, perfect.
Everyone's happy with that?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for that. Once the assessment's done, then we will meet back up for the post-validation. Yeah, thanks for joining me
Yeah,
today.
perfect. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thanks.
No final questions?
No
Everyone's happy?
questions. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's all makes sense. Yeah.
Cool.